50% of your base pay, every month for as long as you live. That's what 2 decades in uniform buys you, a military pension worth half your paycheck, and it doesn't clock out when you do. But the pension is just the first door. There is a benefit hiding in this package that costs a retiree almost nothing and can wipe out their medical bills, except it doesn't switch on until the exact day they turn 65.
So what do you actually walk away with after 2 decades? This is Erica, and it's a whole stack, not one check. The pension is the headline. Behind it sit healthcare, tax-free shopping, life insurance, and base access that all turn on the day you retire.
Yeah, and here's what nobody says at the retirement ceremony. This is Caroline, and I follow the money on these. Half your base pay for life sounds simple until you ask which of these benefits actually stays free once you take off the uniform. Some do not.
Chris here, 20 years, 4 systems to learn. The pension, the healthcare, the shopping, the survivor plan. Step 1 is knowing what you earned.
Look at this for a second. Every one of those benefits, the pension, the health plan, the commissary, all of it runs out of one building, the Pentagon, the headquarters of the Department of Defense. 20 years buys you a permanent seat inside that system. Before we open the first door, one thing. We put every one of these benefits with a retirement calculator, free at military.professorerica.com. The numbers, the deadlines, the checklists, all of it in one place. And Chris, you pulled the question everyone actually types under these videos. Go ahead and put it to us.
Yeah, the one we hear most is blunt. Do you keep TRICARE after 20 years? And is it still free like on active duty? Short answer, you keep it, but no, it's not free anymore. That surprises almost everyone.
That's the whole game. So let's start where it starts, with the one check you can absolutely count on, your pension, and the simple formula behind it.
Want the whole pension in one line? Here's the ruling. It's a multiplier, times your years of service, times your high 3 pay. 3 inputs, and you can find your own number to the dollar before you ever retire.
So let me walk it start to finish. Your retired pay equals that multiplier, times years, times your high 3. High 3, by definition, is the average of your highest 36 months of base pay, almost always your last 3 years in uniform. Under the older high 3 system, the multiplier is 2.5% per year. Serve 20 years, and 2.5 times 20 is 50%. So a 20-year retiree collects half of that high 3 average every single month for life. The exact number is knowable years in advance.
Read it again slower though. High 3 is base pay only, and just the average of your top 36 months, not your whole paycheck, not the allowances. So which number are we actually multiplying?
The one that's guaranteed to be highest for you. Here's the ruling. It's your top 36 months of base pay, so for most people the last 3 years. 20 years gives you 50% of it under high 3. Join in 2018 or later and you're on the blended system, where the multiplier drops to 2% a year, 40% at 20.
Wait, 40, not 50? They cut the pension?
They lowered it, and then they added something. Blended pays a Thrift Savings Plan match, up to 5% of your base pay, invested for decades. Both things are true. The monthly pension is smaller, and the nest egg can be larger.
I map these out the way I play my lunch break chess, one forced move at a time. Take Ray, 42, an Army Sergeant First Class retiring at 20 years. His high 3 average is about $6,000 a month.
Which line though? There are 3 numbers on that card. The base pay, the multiplier, and the total. Which one is the pension?
The bottom one, always. Apply the multiplier. 2.5% times 20 years is 50% of the $6,000.
50% of $6,000 is $3,000 a month for life. Both things are true here. It feels like a lot, and it's still only half of Ray's base pay.
And it grows. Every year, the pension gets a cost of living raise. For 2026, that raise is 2.8% tied to inflation. Step 1 of retirement math. Your pension keeps pace with prices.
Before we keep going, one small favor that actually moves the needle. If this is landing for you, tap like, then subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss the rest. 2 taps, completely free, and it pushes this in front of more people who need it. Remember the benefit I promised at the top, the one that waits until 65. Here it is, and it saves a retiree the most of anything in the stack. But first, the years before it. On active duty, your healthcare is free. The day you retire, that changes.
Here's the ruling. As a retiree, you still get TRICARE, Prime, or Select, but now it comes with an annual enrollment fee and cost shares. Both things are true, it's still excellent coverage, and it's no longer free.
Wait, free for 20 years, and the day I retire, it's not?
Right, and here are the real numbers. For 2026, TRICARE Select runs a retiree family about $1,191 a year. Prime is a little less. Not free, but not brutal either.
Caroline, you flagged the part that trips everyone up. Ask it the way the comments do.
Okay, here's what I never understood. If TRICARE For Life has no premium, why do I still pay for Medicare Part B?
Because at 65, TRICARE For Life isn't your primary insurance anymore. Medicare is. Medicare Part A and Part B pay first, and TRICARE For Life wraps around them, picking up almost everything Medicare leaves. For care both programs cover, most retirees pay close to nothing. That's why you carry Part B.
So there is one hard rule, and missing it's the mistake that costs people their coverage. You must be enrolled in Medicare Part B to keep TRICARE For Life. Drop Part B, you drop the wrap. And Part B has its own price, $202.90 a month in 2026. That's the one health bill a retiree with TFL really carries. For the 65 handoff itself, we brought in someone who knows retiree healthcare inside out. We put the hardest questions to her.
Here's what I tell every retiree at 65, don't panic about losing TRICARE. You're not losing it, you're upgrading it. Medicare becomes your primary coverage and TRICARE For Life pays as the secondary. So for the care both cover, most retirees pay almost nothing out of pocket. The one thing you can't skip is Medicare Part B. No Part B, no TRICARE For Life. Sign up during your enrollment window around your 65th birthday and the handoff is seamless. Miss it and you face a gap and a lifelong penalty. That's the rule that matters most. Thanks for having me on and congratulations in advance, you've earned this one.
That's the handoff cleanly. Thank you. Let me put the whole path on one board. It starts the day you retire when you pick Prime or Select and start paying the annual fee.
Turn 65, enroll in Part B. That's the rep. Everything else follows.
One decision at retirement outweighs all the others, and you make it once. The Survivor Benefit Plan. Because the pension we just built stops the day the retiree is gone, unless you protect it. Caroline thinks the math favors buying your own policy. Chris says keep the government plan. I'll referee and give you the verdict.
Here's what SBP is. You give up 6.5% of your pension. Your spouse then gets 55% of it for life, adjusted for inflation.
Yay, and here's the catch. That 55% only pays if your spouse outlives you. You spend 6.5% every month on a benefit that might never trigger.
No, you've got it backwards. It's insurance, not an investment.
Then price the insurance. A healthy retiree can buy term life and invest the difference.
Sure, if you actually invest it, most people spend it.
Caroline, give me your single strongest case for term over SBP. Go.
Term is cheaper while you're young. And if you outlive the term, your spouse inherits the whole invested nest egg, not just a monthly check.
Two things term can't do. It gets expensive as you age, and it can't guarantee inflation-adjusted income for a spouse who lives to 95.
Concede that. The lifetime inflation piece is real.
That's the whole ballgame. A private policy almost never matches a lifetime annuity that raises itself with prices.
So here's the verdict, and here's what I'd actually do. For most retirees whose spouse would lean on that income, the smart play is SBP. It's inflation protected, guaranteed for life, needs no medical exam, and the premium comes out before taxes, straight off the DFAS rate tables. Buy term and invest only wins if you're healthy, disciplined, wealthy enough to self-insure, and you'll truly invest the difference. And by law, you can't decline full spouse coverage without your spouse's notarized consent. So don't decide this one alone. Weigh it together, at the table.
That retiree ID card, the DD Form 2765, is more than proof you served. It's a key, and it opens doors most retirees never fully use. Let's walk them beyond the pension and the health care.
Start with the commissary and the exchange. Groceries and goods on base, sold at cost, with no sales tax. Over a year, for a retired family, that's real money back in the budget.
Tax-free groceries every week. Step 1 after you retire, get the card and use the store.
And here's the part more veterans need to hear. Read it again slower. Since 2020, this isn't just for retirees. Any veteran with a VA service-connected disability rating can shop here now, plus Purple Heart recipients, former prisoners of war, and VA caregivers.
I collect fountain pens, so believe me, I know what a small recurring cost adds up to over years. Tax-free every single trip, week after week, is quietly a raise you never see taxed.
Now the one with a clock on it. When you separate, your SGLI life insurance ends, but you can convert it to VGLI. Do it within 240 days and they ask you 0 health questions. Miss that window and it gets harder.
The clause is simple but strict. After 240 days, you've got to prove you're healthy, and if your health has changed, that door may be closed. Speed is the whole benefit.
And the smaller doors add up fast. Space-available military flights, sometimes free. The Federal Dental and Vision Program, FEDVIP, that you can enroll in. Base access, the gym, the pool, and you can reuse your VA home loan benefit again on your next house.
Add it all up, and the health piece is the quiet winner. Remember that $200 Part B premium? After 65, that's the only real health insurance bill most retirees carry.
I ran the grocery math on my own famously bland meal prep chicken. Tax-free, I save enough a year to feed my whole couch to 5,000 block.
Of course you turned a lifetime military benefit into a chicken subsidy, Chris. Though, honestly, the point stands. Tax-free savings compound.
But step back and look at the biggest number of all, the pension itself, over a whole retirement. Take Ray again, about $3,000 a month for a 40-year retirement before a single cost of living raise is added.
$1.4 million, and that's the floor, because the COLA raises push it far higher. Both things are true. It's a lifetime of security, and you earned every year of it.
Quick landing. 20 years earns you a lifetime pension worth half your base pay, healthcare that upgrades to near free at 65, tax-free base shopping, and a survivor plan you decide once. Next time we break down exactly how to buy back your reserve or academy time to reach that 20-year mark faster.
The piece I wouldn't skip. At 65, TRICARE For Life plus Medicare is the quiet crown jewel of the whole package.
And the honest asterisk, retiree TRICARE isn't free anymore, so budget the enrollment fee before it surprises you.
You're one rep this week if you're separating. Convert your SGLI to VGLI inside 240 days. That's the door with a clock.
If this map of your retirement helped, hit like. It helps the next troop nearing 20 find it. Subscribe and we keep every one of these numbers current each year because the fees and the COLA change, and the one we honestly can't settle for everyone. Would you elect SBP or buy term life and invest the difference? It really does come down to your family. Tell us below. The outline does the heavy lifting. Write the outline.
That was close to a full 10, Emma. I reserve tens for episodes I hosted personally, and that is just my standing policy. This is Professor Erica. Thanks for watching and signing off.